We are live. Welcome back. Man, was I sweating my ass off, y'all. I can't believe it. LSU pulled it out. LSU actually pulled this one out. They ran all of those plays on offense. How many did they wind up finally having? Let's see. Team stats. LSU ran about, 42. They had 42 rushes and 49 attempts. Damn near getting to 100 plays, guys. And only scoring 27 points, but you know what? I'll take it. I will take it, guys and girls who will be watching the show. But LSU comes out with the victory, 27-24. You can call into the show at 225-435-9387. That's 225-435-9387. And we will take your calls in reference to the LSU Tiger game just now. I agree with right here what Ryan Mayer said. Give Sam Pittman, the head coach of Arkansas, some credit. He has Arkansas on the right track. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Ty Davis-Price needs to be RB1, says James Washington. Guys, I mean, look, he played one hell of a game. One hell of a game. Ty Davis-Price, 24 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. His longest run was 22 yards on the day. He played great. I thought TJ Finley at times played really, really well. I think you got to give this LSU team a little bit of credit on defense. Look, I know that Bo Pelini and a lot of people are going to criticize Bo Pelini in reference to the game today. But guys, quite honestly, when you forced 6, almost 7 3-and-outs, and you give your offense the ability to run damn near and close to 100 plays on offense, okay. Now, they gave up some big plays. They gave up some big plays there at the end, and I get that. They gave up a lot of explosive plays, but Derek Stingley was out. Eli Ricks got ejected. It was an ugly win, y'all, a really ugly win. But do you know what? A win is a win. A win is a win. And when it mattered most, they came up with a stop. Jay Ward, where you been at, brother? You got roasted and toasted. And the first time you came in, and the last play, he jars the ball loose on the ball that was thrown in the flat by Felipe Franks, and then gets the tip on the field goal. Guys, a lot of young players on this team. You got to give Jay Ward credit. Derek Stingley out. Eli Ricks out. And you only give up 24 points. I'll take it. Y'all can criticize me right now about this Bo Pelini defense, but I thought that they played a lot better than what they had been. What you cannot have, guys, is damn near close to 100 plays on offense and 27 points. That can't work. It will never work. Okay, guys, you can call in right there, 225-435-9387, 225-435-9387. We'll get to some of your comments here. Stephen Miller says, yo, just win, baby. I agree with him there. Ryan says Franks is no slouch LSU fans. No, he was not. But as Matt Guidry says right here, you held them to 0-10 on third down. Guys, when you look, Blake, I'll get to this comment in just a second. Concussion. Derek Stingley, from what I was told, it was in concussion protocol. But if anybody is going to talk about this defense, you held Arkansas to 0-10 on third down. Guys, that's humongous. That's huge. Absolutely humongous. Daryl says a win is a win, but hard to watch. Yeah, I agree. It was hard. It was really hard to watch. But you know what? At the same time, and I'm going to get pushback on this, and that's fine. If you got pushback for me on it, just call in right here. Call in and push back on it. I thought the defense played pretty damn good. I thought that they gave up some explosive plays that they got to get corrected, but the one touchdown was a pick on Cardell Flott on that wheel route in the first half for the first score. Okay, yes, Dwight McGlothern and his first snap at LSU gives up a big play. Both of your corners are out. Guys, they were locking them down when Derek Stingley and Eli Ricks were in the game. They scored 7 points in the first quarter and a half, and then Eli Ricks goes out, and then Derek Stingley, the drive after, would go out. As Gino says right here, guys, I'm going to take any win. Absolutely any win. I agree. Everyone joining the show, we appreciate it. This is Are You Serious Sports and the LSU postgame show. Do us a favor, hit the like and hit the share, and always follow us on all of our platforms as you see right here. Keith says, D arguably outperformed the offense this game. No question whatsoever. None. Guys, the offense, LSU's offense, had the ball for 41 minutes and 43 seconds in the game. Let me repeat that. They had the ball for 41 minutes and 43 seconds and got 27 points. When you don't put points on the board, you're going to give your defense is going to have problems. You got to go get points. Blaine says McGruthern is going to be good. Trust me. Well, he got burned, in his first ever snap. Guys, you had true freshmen and true sophomores out there when Stingley and Eli went down. And look, your number 1 and number 2 corner went down. Let's see. Blake says Arkansas ran half the plays LSU did. Yeah, they did. And actually, technically outgained LSU. Guys, Arkansas outgained LSU. But you had the pick by Jabril Cox that got you at the one. Guys, and the truth is, 7 of those points you can give to the defense. You won that game because at times you had guys on defense stepping up. Jay Ward at the end there. I think that this LSU defense really showed some improvement. Y'all can be mad at me about that. That's fine. That is fine, but I thought that this defense played a lot better than we've seen in weeks. And I had someone earlier tell me, well, Blake, it's just Arkansas. Well, shit, it was just Mississippi State and it was just Missouri too. I'll take improvement where improvement's deserved. Stephen Miller says the play calling was something left to be desired. I agree a little bit with Stephen here. But when you're running the ball, I mean, you got to get points. All right, we have a call. We have a call here. You're on the line with Blake Ruffino and Are You Serious Sports. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to tonight?
Hey, how's it going, Blake? It's Jared.
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I'm just calling in and talking about the game and stuff. The TDP played a hell of a game. You can't give it up enough for him. Obviously, everyone knows that. But TJ Finley had a pretty good game. 27-42. He had a very good game. I don't think people are talking about that enough.
Well, and look, and Reginald Cormier is saying it on the stream, and what I was going to say too, penalties killed LSU on offense. That Chase and Hines holding was complete trash.
Oh, almost cost us the game.
And it could have. And I even think what is Liam Shanahan supposed to do there when his defender is falling down and bringing him down with him? How is that a hold? But that just goes to show you, those were killer. And I thought TJ Finley played well and put you in position to win.
Yeah. No, TJ Finley played great. Ty Davis-Price played great. John Embry didn't have that game that we're used to seeing from him. Even though he's so young, we're used to seeing those big breakout games from him. But he didn't have that today. But yeah, I thought TJ Finley played great, and I was really impressed with everything. I just think the offensive line needs to get sharper. They can push whoever they want to out of the box. We got the best athletes at LSU, but.
Well, let me ask.
Sharper on that.
I agree with you there. They got to play sharper. Let me ask you what your thoughts are on this defense for LSU. Do you think that you saw some improvement today?
Do I think that what?
Do you think that this defense? Did you see some good improvement from this defense today?
I saw some improvement. Some of those plays just blown coverages and just not getting enough pressure. I'm like, it's so frustrating to see from LSU. But I think with a team this young, you're not looking for wins. You're just looking for improvement. Obviously won the game, but you're just looking for improvement and building these guys and stuff. And I think they're starting to come together as units. That play by Jabril Cox was crazy, and that play by Gay and everything. That deflection in the first drive, they're getting a lot better. I think they're coming together as a unit. Maybe the second year when they're all together, it's going to be a lot better. But I'm proud of them. I think they're doing good. Yeah,
when you force 6 3-and-outs, okay, you got to give them credit. And look, offense and football is just different these days too. You're not if you stopped a team to 17 to 20 points, that's a win, right? Like we can't say that, this isn't the old days where, if a team, you got to hold a team to 7 to 10 points and win a game.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen anymore, man.
Yeah, no more 9-6 2011, LSU Bama games. No more of those days. Yeah, if you're holding them under 30, it's a win.
It should be, especially when your team almost on offense almost runs 100 plays, right? Like, how does the offense almost run 100 plays if the defense doesn't play well? So I think that they had a lot of improvement. What's that, bud? I'm sorry.
I'm really proud of the guys. I'm excited to see.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. We got a couple more calls coming in, man, and always love that you watch this, man. And you always have the pleasure of calling in to AYS.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'll keep listening to the show. You take it easy, man. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. You too. Okay, guys, you can call in at 225-435-9387. 225-435-9387. Cade said those holding calls are tough. They're a judgment call. Judgment call on what? I mean, you having a defender falling down and bringing the offensive lineman down with him. Judgment call. Well, then if it's a judgment call, huddle the refs up and ask him what he saw. Because if I can see that in real time, they should be able to see that real time on the field. I thought that was horrendous play call or horrendous calls. Reginald Cormier says Ward had huge back-to-back plays. Kudos to him. I can't give Jay Ward enough credit. Look, you came out the game, and the last time we saw you against Mississippi State, you didn't play well. Okay, then you come back, you start, you got burned once, then you got burned again, then you had the pass interference, if you remember, along the sidelines, but then he came back, he jarred the ball loose there at the end and blocked the kick or tipped the kick, and LSU wins. Hell yeah, Jay Ward. That's how, look, that's a younger guy that's now getting playing time that's got the talent. And you had your two best corners out. So you got to give Jay Ward a lot of credit. I agree there. Let's see. Joseph says there's technically some kind of holding on every play. Those weren't blatant. I agree with you there. Completely agree with you there. Matt Gidry says these announcers are so biased. Couldn't get more for Arkansas for that. All right, we got to call the guys. You're on the line with Blake Ruffino and Are You Serious Sports. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to tonight?
How you doing, Blake? Man, it's that dude, K. Hayes. How you doing, brother?
K. Hayes, what's happening, man?
Nothing, man. Hey, just got done watching the game. This is my take on this game, man. It's a win. We got out of there, but we can't lose sight of the fact that we were playing a COVID, we were playing a COVID-depleted Arkansas team. A lot of their key defensive linemen out, and one of their chief offensive starters, and Rakeem Boyd out. But offensively, Finley is starting to look like he's more comfortable back in the pocket. And there were definitely some positive things I saw out of the game. But the LSU D is still in need of some major, major improvement. The play that I really was almost about to have a heart attack over is the play in the fourth quarter where Franks was back. I think it was maybe 3rd and 16. 4 or 5 LSU players around him and couldn't sack him. And he ran and he got, about 13 yards and made what would have been a 4th and maybe, the 20-something wound up being a 4th and 3. That's unacceptable. But outside of that, hey, it's a win. But, I don't think those guys need to really walk too tall and hold their heads too high. Stay humble, get better, because we've got some tough games ahead. A&M's ahead, UF's ahead, Ole Miss is ahead. So I think we need to keep this win in the proper perspective. Can we honestly say it, LSU fans, okay, as honest fans of LSU, based upon how those guys are this year, had Arkansas had their full lineup, would we be having this conversation about LSU wins?
Well, Corey, let me interject here. Your offense almost runs 100 plays. Okay, now all of the COVID guys are. A&M's ahead, UF's ahead. Hey, can you turn it down on your side on the end back there? Yeah, yeah, there you go. Your offense almost runs 100 plays. 100. Hey, Carl, you're gonna have to turn it down in the background, brother. You're gonna have to turn it down. We're gonna have to let you go, man. I'm sorry. Can you turn it down on the backside?
Let me interject here. Your offense almost runs
Yep. Sorry, Corey, but let me interject here. Guys, if you call in, you can't listen to yourself because we'll get echo back. If you're going to call in, you're going to have to call in and just talk on the phone. Sorry about that, Mr. K. Hayes. But look, your offense almost running 100 plays. You got to get more points. And let me ask you, everybody in the stream, all 100 or 101 of you, let me ask you this. If LSU would have beat them 52-24, would you have a different perspective? Of course you would. But you cannot run that many plays and only get 27 points because the truth of all of this is you gave up 24 points. That's how I'm going to take it from moving forward. I mean, look, we gave up 40-plus points to Mississippi State and 40-plus points to Missouri. So Kendall Briles is not a pushover when it comes to a coordinator. He's just not. All right, guys, you can call in 225-435-9387, 225-435-9387. Oh, here we go with saying, we won the game because of COVID-19. Arkansas defense played well, so I'm sure Sam Pittman really real deal coach. Well, I mean, Kay, yeah, you're right, but they did. I mean, Arkansas did have their problems on defense where most of their guys were out. A lot of their guys were out on defense, and you did that to them. You got to be able to score. It does not matter how many plays and yards you have. If you cannot generate points, nothing matters. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Matt Guidry says it looked like just a few defensive miscues. That was what has been. Yeah, it's what it's been. But, I mean, look, you can clean that up. The days, guys, again, of you shutting the team down to 10 to 17 points isn't going to happen. They weren't missing people on offense. Their entire offensive lineup that's been starting throughout the season played. Their guys on defense were the ones that were out. All right, you're on the line with Blake Ruffino and Are You Serious Sports.
Like just a few defensive miscues.
Hey, Carl, you're going to have to turn it down in the background or we're not going to answer your phone call, man.
Look, you can clean that up.
All right, guys, I'm going to tell you again, if you call in, you have to turn down the audio because then we get an echo. You have to turn it down. James Washington says this close win showed me this team was fighting. Boom. There it is. Boom. Guys, they showed a lot of fight. Jay Ward at the end showed a lot of fight. Jabril Cox showed a lot of fight. Micah Baskerville there at the end, making a critical tackle on Felipe Franks that gets you short. Remember when they – all right, we got a phone call here from Mr. Jason Sheridan. Jason, what's going on tonight, man?
Hey, Blake, good to hear from you, man. Just listening to the show, wanted to call in, congratulate the Tigers on another victory. I know the score was not where we wanted it to be. We wanted more points on offense. But I think something we need to point out, Blake, about Arkansas is the play calling wasn't that great, man. I don't know why they were trying to run the ball and not let Felipe Franks throw it. They were throwing the ball like no problem on us.
Well, Jason, that's a good point. But Felipe did throw 27 times out of the 40 plays that they ran. So I think that they did let him throw the ball a lot. It just that LSU, gave up some explosive plays. Jason, 26 attempts. He threw it at least more than half of the time. So he did pull it down and run sometimes, if you remember on some of those play calls. So they had 35 dropbacks on 26 attempts. So I think that they were, and there were times that LSU's defensive secondary was locking it down, but sometimes they were giving up those big busted plays.
Yeah, I think that's one of the issues that, LSU's got to keep working on is just not giving up the big plays, man. Just as long as we cannot give up the big plays, there's so many of them per game, I think we're going to be okay. I saw improvement in the defense. I thought they were better. I think the most concerning thing is the offense seemed pretty anemic, on the field for so long, but yet so little points against an Arkansas defense that was missing like 6 players or something like that because of COVID. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's just tough, and you got to keep things in perspective. These are college kids, we can't, they're not professional athletes or anything. So, but how about some of those true freshmen stepping up this game, man, making some plays happen? I saw some good things in the freshmen. I like it, man. I think the future looks pretty good.
I think it did too. And Jason, honestly, I know. Look, I'm going to praise Jay Ward all week. At the end of the game, when you look at the end there, when you need the stop, and you go out there and give it your all, him and Micah Baskerville, and they come up with the stop, and then Jay Ward comes out there and blocks the kick. Man, that's a young guy, a red-shirted freshman, a young guy out there making plays when your two DBs are out. So, and here's another thing, Jason. Just another scenario to throw in here. Arkansas didn't do anything offensively when you had Eli Ricks and Derek Stingley out there. If those guys would have not got hurt and gotten ejected, would have it even been in this close? So I think that this defense showed a lot of heart and a lot of good improvement because if you're honest, arguably, Eli Ricks and Derek Stingley are your two best players on defense, and they were out for you.
I agree with you, Blake. And the rest of the season, like you said, or somebody said earlier, it's not about winning games; it's about just getting better for next year. At this point, I don't think we pull up an upset against Alabama, Florida. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe we get Texas A&M and beat them, but it just doesn't. It doesn't look like the offense has it quite yet. I just don't think they're ready quite yet. So we'll see. But Finley's showing a lot of improvement. I'm happy with it. Just as long as the O-line can, get some yards for the rushers, it's going to be all right. So
hey, you got to give him talking about TJ Finley. You got to give him credit. He led the team down the field and got you a touchdown to DeRay Jenkins, and ultimately won you a game. So you got to give him a lot of credit there.
Yeah, and I think something might have to do with my new shirt that you guys sent me from Academy.
Yeah,
I think that might have been the contributing factor to the win today.
It might have been. Look, you won the YouTube subscribing, and we did the giveaway. That might be it. Jason, I appreciate you letting everybody know that your new shirt's the reason why LSU won.
I appreciate you, Blake. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job, man.
Thanks, Jason. Okay, guys, you can call in 225-435-9387. Guys, if you are trying to give us a call, just give us a call back. Just hang tight with us. I mean, literally sitting right here having 45 missed calls. So you guys can call in. The phone lines are open, as they say. Matt Girdry says that also showed LSU has better quality players as well, too. All right, Mr. Colin Thibodeau is now on the line with AYS and Blake Ruffino. What's up, Colin?
Not much. Look, full disclosure before I even get started, I didn't get to watch the entire game. But what I did watch, I want to talk about TJ Finley. It was a hell of a bounce-back game. I found that he had great decisions, especially that last drive. A couple of times looked like he was scrambling, running away from a bunch of ghosts. I guess ghosts of Darren McFadden for some reason on defense, scared of LSU. But
well, sometimes, Colin, when you're scrambling out like that, it's to generate passing lanes. So I don't know if it was a pressure problem or him trying to generate lanes. Look, a lot of people were talking about him throwing it in double coverage. They were dropping 8. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people around your receivers too.
Yeah, and that's all you can do is make accurate throws, like he was. He made accurate throws, put the ball where only his receivers could get it. And that's exactly what. So, I saw improvement from him, and I'll give you, we saw improvement from the defense, but also still saw a lot of things to clean up. I know, you 1 and 2 go down, and after that, but you still have to. You have to know that Arkansas was only going for those big plays after that. They knew it was going to be there, and they immediately started picking on those guys. You have to, as those guys, tell yourself that that's going to happen. And you just, whatever it takes to not let those plays get so big. Keep those guys in front of you. Don't let them get a step behind you, because that's how they did it. Because some of those, we almost ran 100 plays, but also a lot of Arkansas's drives were 3-4 plays.
Well, look, again, I still believe that these days are done where you're going to stop teams, or if you stop a team from anywhere from 17 to 24 points, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it, because, Colin, at the end of the day, there is absolutely no excuse for you to have – LSU had 21 third down attempts. 21. Okay, 42 passing attempts and 49 rushes, 27 points. Like, so there are times, and Colin, to this point too, you also have an offense that's sitting on the sideline and a coach in Kendall Browns that's able to generate stuff and see what's going on and call some stuff. So just to me, I thought that, yes, you're right. They got to clean some stuff up. They 100% got to clean some stuff up. There's no arguing that. But I thought that they made some improvements. I thought they got after the passer, and I thought that they gave Felipe Franks a hard time in the pocket a lot of times too.
They did. And that was nice to see. And those drives against Felipe, those big plays against Felipe came at the right time. You drop them back and stuff like that, but then you give it right back up, but you still make the plays in the end. And I'm like, I want to give Jay Ward credit. Those last two, defensive plays that he had, well, the defensive and the offensive play that he had, because that's what helped the LSU the game. But it's also still kind of like giving Lattimore credit for making that game-saving tackle, to win the game for the Saints. You got burned all game, and you gotta, that's fine, great, glad you did it, but you gotta fix it so we don't get to that point in the game. We're talking about a cat that's hits field goals all year long, and his entire career since he's been at Duke, and we only got it because Jay Ward got his fingertips on it.
Yeah, and look, he rushed off and he made two humongous plays there at the end. Colin, what did you think of the targeting call on Ricks?
I saw a replay at it. I didn't get to watch it live, but it was horrible.
Yeah.
Glad if it had to come, glad it came early. Helps Ricks be there for next week. Because it was that was the first quarter, I believe.
Yeah, it was our first, either late first quarter or early second.
Yeah, so he'll maybe have to miss a few minutes in the first quarter next game, or if at all, or whatever. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he doesn't have to miss any time next week. He missed it in the whole second half.
Then we good and then hopefully Stingler can get healthy, because you're going to need them next week, because of all the quarterbacks that you don't need to be making look like a Heisman Trophy candidate. Kellen Mond, who you've dominated his entire career at A&M, is not the guy. He will pick you apart.
Yep. Colin, I appreciate you calling in, man. We'll always welcome you calling in, brother. Thanks so much.
All right, bud. No problem.
Thanks. All right, guys, you can call in at 225-435-9387. Always like to hear what you guys think. Kate says, TJ still has much improvement to do. He is staring down his receivers. Look, man, he does have improvement, but, man, that's a true freshman out there, guys. And, look, here's another thing, too. They were dropping 8, and he was picking them apart at times. There was a time there that he went 9 for 10 on his passing attempts. So I thought he did good. Brittany Bro asked about the targeting call. I mean, what else do you want Eli Ricks to do there? It's not as blatant as the guy from Arkansas when he tried to pretty much dehead and decapitate Keyshawn Boutte. I mean, what do you want Eli Ricks to do there? It's either don't go for the tackle or dive at his legs. I mean, I thought it was a shitty call personally. Daryl brings up an interesting point here. He says, how about that Les Miles time clock manage it in the first half? Yeah, what the hell was that running the ball when you got, 12, 13 seconds? Here's the thing, Daryl. I thought that they actually played it well because they had a chance where they could have gotten 2 plays off there. They run the ball, and they had to burn a timeout to kick a field goal. That was really bad. That was really, really bad. Let's see. Anthony says D-line played well for sure. Secondary needs a lot of help, though. Yeah, I mean, but I thought that the secondary in the second half started playing better in the fourth quarter for sure. And again, Eli Ricks and Derek Stingley are out. So when you take your top 2 corners away, I mean, yeah, you're going to have explosive plays. I thought, look, I'm going to get ridiculed and get my ass handed to me on this. I thought Bo called a pretty good game. I'm not going to say he called a great game or a fantastic game. I'm not going to say he called a bad game. But, man, when your 2 corners go out and you only give up 24 points in the way that they did, in the fashion that they did, I'll take that every single week. I'll take that every single week because you remember in 2018 when you had all those guys leaving and you played UCF in that bowl game, how many points you gave up then? People weren't saying Dave Aranda was trash then. So just throwing that out there. Let's see. Blaine Viator says, thoughts on time management at the end of the first half? Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a crappy call. You have 12 seconds left to go. You could throw at least 2 passes there if you absolutely wanted to. You got to take a shot at the end zone. You have a timeout. If a guy gets tackled in space, you can definitely call a timeout because you ran the ball. You ran the ball there. I thought it was horrendous. Ed has had troubles at times doing that. Really bad calls in the red zone. I get what he's going to say, though, Blaine. Like, I get what he's going to say. Well, we were getting the ball coming out of the second half, wanted to get 3. But, man, you still could have gone for 3. Take a shot in the end zone. I think that shows a lack of trust in TJ, honestly. Joseph says, I see why some scouts had Cox as first-round prospect. He has a high ceiling and a nose for the football. NFL is more pass-heavy than ever, and he could be a great cover linebacker. Here's another thing about the defense. Guys, you got 7 points pretty much generated from this defense. You had 1st and goal to go from the 1-yard line, and you punched in with Ty Davis-Price. So the truth is, your offense only scored 13. I mean, yes, the offense of Ty Davis-Price will get the credit for scoring the 20 points. But, man, you got to give this defense credit. You got to give this defense some credit. Because when you hold that team to that many 3 and outs, a pick that almost was a pick 6, I mean, you got to give him some credit there. Gino says Curry looks slow and Cox is a beast. Yeah, man, I don't know why they're playing Chris Curry. Hey, and you know what? Did y'all see the kid Bradford came in when Ty Davis-Price needed a breather? Bradford came in. Curry was pulled. I like Chris Curry. I think he's a good guy. I think that, he could go somewhere else and play, but he's just not going to be able to play in this offense, guys. It's just not going to happen. Goes back to what I said, true freshman quarterbacks, are we trying to get the guy some confidence? Well, yeah, you always got to give a young quarterback confidence. I mean, even look at Trevor Lawrence as a true freshman. I mean, there was one game, he was like 7 of 21 at one point. So, yeah. Eric Wright says, I no doubt they want to troll other fan bases on social media. Who trolling? Who trolling? Let's see. Ryan Williams says, Ryan Mayer for sure. He's done a really good job coaching, no doubt. I guess you guys talking about Sam Pittman. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Well, Ryan said something. Blaine Viator, it was too conservative and had timeout. Yeah, it was way too conservative. TJ says, Vic, TJ has ice in his veins. I agree. Guys, I agree. I thought he played lights out, man. I thought he played lights out. Played really good. There are some throws. Let me say this. There are some throws he's got to get better. He short hopped a couple to Terrace Marshall. But there's one, when you talk about Eric Gilbert, the one that got called back on the holding. I mean, if that doesn't go back on a holding, that's a 35-yard gain. You had the one that Jontre Kirkland that got called back on another holding. That's another 30-plus yard gain. So, yeah, I thought he did. But LSU cannot have 9 penalties in 70 yards. They just can't. And a lot of people talked about John Emery, too, about wanting to see John Emery more. John Emery. That fumble was a bad loss. You're about to go down and score. So, yeah, I don't know. Ty Davis-Price played fantastic, man. He played great. You got to give him credit. Daryl says, looks like I will be investing in a lot more Crown Royal to finish this season. Hey, well, if you want to, you can go get you some Ragged Branch whiskey or bourbon whiskey, too. The official bourbon of AYS. And also, I got to talk about my guy right here, too. The sponsor of the LSU postgame show, Mr. Woody Clark, over at Robinson Brothers Ford. 11455 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's 11455 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hashtag ask for Woody. Give him a call today at 225-603-5432. That's 225-603-5432. Tell him Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you. Okay, guys, you can call in too, 225-435-9387. We'd love to hear some more of what you guys got to say about the game today. Okay, we're going about 37 minutes. That ain't bad. Jamie Fortberry says, and that looked like a fumble right before the field goal attempt. Which one are you talking about, Jamie? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Eric Clark says, Ryan and I was talking about something else. Oh, gotcha. Vic says, can you talk about Ensminger play calling and lack of creativity? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to criticize him for wanting to run the football. I'm not. With Ty Davis-Price and John Emery. But look, even in the beginning, you remember the dump out pass to John Emery got him in space and got him a first down. You had multiple 3rd and 4s that you ran the ball 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and you're running the ball right at the middle. And you should have – last year they were dumping the ball out in the flat to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, is that a Scott Linehan thing or is that a Ensminger thing? So, but yeah, I thought that if Scott Linehan is the one calling the plays on 3rd down and red zone and Steve Ensminger is the one calling the plays on 1st and 2nd down, if that is the case, give all the calls to Steve Ensminger. Because you're getting close to the marker, give them the damn all the play calls. I'm tired of the Scott Linehan bullshit. I know you guys won't bow out. Scott Linehan, to me, guys, it's getting atrocious seeing some of these 3rd downs. But Vic, to your credit, yeah, they got to get more creative. I mean, they're just going to have to. There's not a lot of creativity on this offense, which makes TJ Finley, his performances look even better, man. Jared says, where can I get that AYS bourbon? Anywhere, Rouse's, your local Rouse's. I'm not sure where you're at. You can go to their website at raggedbranch.com and they'll ship it to you as well. Ryan Mayer says, why Eric Gilbert not getting more targets in the red zone line like Kyle Pitts? I don't know. Ryan, I don't know. I mean, they did target him in the red zone, but they got called back twice. So I don't know, but they got to give him the ball more. I know everyone likes to blame the officials, but was it just me or was that the C team out there officiating? Some really bad calls out there today against both teams. Yeah, they were horrendous. And Stinchcomb, the announcer, who was a first-round pick out of the University of Georgia, does not like LSU. Every single time he was, oh, well, LSU this. Oh, the LSU didn't do this. LSU did this. Oh. I mean, he was getting on my damn nerves where I muted it. I wasn't listening to that crap. James Washington says, Andre Anthony was big today. Yeah, he had a really, really good game. James is right. He had a really, really, really good game. Let's go look at some of these stats here. They're not going to show the defensive stats. Let's see. I'm looking for it right here. I don't see any of the defensive stats. I'll go have to look up there. But, yeah, he did. He got a couple of big sacks. He got a couple of tackles for loss. He played really, really big. Really, really big. Matt Guidry says, before Arkansas' last field goal attempt, it looked like he caught it and got stripped. Oh, I'd have to go back and look at that. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I didn't take it like that. I thought it was just an incomplete pass. Terrible calls in this game, says Cedric. Yeah, I agree. There were some really bad ones. Really, really bad ones. They got to get more creative on offense. And if Scott Linehan is calling all these plays on 3rd down and the red zone, and Steve Ensminger is the one that's marching you down the field on 1st and 2nd down, take the freaking play calls away from Scott Linehan. I'm going to tell you, I'm not impressed by this guy at all. At all. I'm not. He's been Rudy Poo all freaking year. All right, everybody join the show. Do us a favor. Hit the like and hit the share. If you're watching us on Twitter Periscope, hit the retweet. And everyone watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe as well. I shared, says Jamie Fortenberry. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, everyone please share. Everyone please share. We'd like more people to come in and give us a call. That was a TD on Davis Price's catch. Yeah, I thought it was too. God, so many people call my personal phone. Call this one, guys. Call this number. Don't call my personal line. I'm using it as a camera. Call right here. Yeah, I thought it was. When you catch it and you come down, regardless of what happens at the end there, I thought it was a catch. I knew they were going to call it an incompletion. Just the way that game was going, I felt like they were going to call that incomplete. Yeah, he is worse than Gary Danielson. Yeah, he was bad. And look, I know a lot of LSU fans hate Gary Danielson. I actually don't mind him. Look, I know he's biased, but there are some times, man, he calls out some good stuff. I mean, I can tolerate him. Let me just say that. I don't like him, but I can tolerate him. Goes back to the rookie QBs that LSU was available right now. All right, let me read this again. Goes back to the rookie QBs that LSU has available right now. If Brennan was in there, would the Tigers offense be more productive? It's a good point. I don't know. And honestly, I don't think so. There's some of those plays that look, how many times has TJ Finley gotten a first down on 4th and 1 on a QB sneak that they were absolutely terrified for Miles Brennan to do at Missouri? I mean, terrified. I mean, would they be more productive? I would think so, but I also would expect a fourth-year quarterback to be more productive than a true freshman. But maybe not. But we're not going to see him again this year. Hopefully, from what I hear, Scott has to go. Yeah, look, I know you guys won't bow out, and I get it. But man, how football is generated these days. And how it's easy to score points on offense sometimes, man, you got to go better than 10 of 21. If you're going to tell me a coach that's got to go, get Linehan out and your boy from Sanford or wherever he was, his name slips my mind right now, who's also in the offensive play call, was the offensive coordinator, I think, at Sanford last year. Why is his name slipping my mind? Promote his ass. Promote him. That's why the Cowboys fired him, says Cedric. Hell yeah. Man, he's bad. Y'all talking about Bo now. And I get it. But he's getting covered by Steve Ensminger being the play caller. He calling some shitty plays, man. Shitty. I mean, shit don't stink as bad as that sometimes. Let's see. What did we expect replacing a guy who was on his way into the NFL with a guy who was on his way out? That's a good point. All the pickers on SEC Network went. Jason, I saw that. They all went with Arkansas. Tebow and all of them said, hop on the train. Are you going to hop off the train now? Kate says, true. Gerard says, I don't mind Gary Danielson either. Stitchcomb was awful, even with his brother playing with the Saints. Yeah, he was bad, man. He was uber bad. Cedric said, what happened to Derek Stingley Jr.? I was told, Cedric, that he had a concussion. So we'll have to see. But he didn't come back, and Eli Ricks wasn't out there. That's why I'm saying, man, holding this team to 24 points was something of kind of crazy. I thought when both of them went out, I was like, damn, they're about to go score 30, 40 points. Scott hasn't brought anything creative to add to the playbook that LSU learned last year. Not at all. Fire him. Yeah, I'd fire him. Not just the SEC Network, but all of College Game Day picked Arkansas too. Hey, y'all know what I've been watching is your boy Urban Meyer and Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush and all them on Fox. I actually have liked that one a lot better. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've liked it so much better. All right, guys, you can call into the show right here at 225-435-9387, 225-435-9387. We had so many people call in the beginning, and now we ain't got nobody calling. I guess it was fresh on their brains. Fresh on their brains. Let's see. Looking at some of these stats, too, and some of these plays, I know that John Emery didn't really have breakout, and he didn't. 12 carries, 33 yards. Finley, 8 carries, 15 yards. Curry had 3 carries for a yard, man. It's just bad. Terrace Marshall, 7 catches, 57 yards. Gilbert, 5 catches, 55 yards. McMath had a touchdown. Man, I hate that he pulled that hamstring, man. Look, and here's another thing too. If he doesn't pull that hamstring there at the end of that, when TJ was trying to hit him on that go route, he might score there. He might have scored. I hate that for him. Let's see. Vic says, let's give a hand to Baskerville. Dew has solidified the position. I agree with that wholeheartedly. 100% wholeheartedly. Hell of a job. Look, I mean, he's better than Damone Clark, man. He's better than Damone Clark. I thought he played a hell of a game too. Tackling guys in space was the biggest deal. Tackling guys in space is the biggest deal. I'm going to have to find these defensive stats, but he played another great game too. Look, these guys are getting better now. Y'all are calling me crazy. They're getting better. Was the Linehan hired to attract player or return a favor? Blake Quibido asked. Man, I have no idea. I think Ed honestly thought he was a good coach. Bad hire. When do they come on Fox? I'll have to check that out. I think around the same time, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. Yeah, they're really good. They're really, really good. They love Orgeron, too. Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush love Coach O. The offense doesn't look the same. No, it doesn't. I mean, even remember last year how the receivers were all bunched in together and they would do rub routes and do pick plays and all that kind of shit. They're not doing that anymore. They're trying to put in this wrinkle that from Scott Linehan. They just need whatever they did last year, call those same freaking plays. Don't put anything else in. I don't understand why they put new stuff in. I mean, I get why you can put new stuff in to make your team better, but man, get back to it. I would strip Scott Linehan of play calling, any play calling duties and every play calling duty. Ensminger should know every call from last year, but Burrow was at the helm. Yeah, and look, you're replacing a Joe freaking Burrow, man, with a true freshman. Hey, dog, TJ Finley was going to homecoming this time last year. I mean, you're going from Joe freaking Burrow to a guy that was literally getting his picture taken at homecoming. So, yeah, I get that. But at the same time, I mean, I think TJ's played well. Any thoughts, Blake, on our offense having 3 weeks off to prepare for this game? Well, they did, the cancellations of the games, a lot of those guys were out on offense. James Washington says, why would you bring that antique here after the season you had last year? I don't know. And it's not for a recruiting thing either. Now, I get that Garrett Nussmeier and Linehan, the Nussmeiers and Linehan have a good connection, but you don't hire a coach for one freaking recruit. Not that recruit anyway. Baskerville has been really solid. I agree, Noah. I agree. He has been really solid. Played another good game today, solidifying that defense in the middle. You got to give him credit. He's playing better than Damone Clark. And quite honestly, not even close. And they're able to take some of the pressure off of Jabril Cox, and Cox comes down with an interception and almost scores. Thomas White says, hard to watch sometimes. I agree with you there, bud. Ed Orgeron wants to be the USC, but has to realize it's 2020. Yeah, he's got to realize. You got to go get these young, innovative minds, man. If you don't, you're gonna get this clapped. Kyle says, dude, statistically, the D is top 5 in the SEC in sacks, tackles for loss. Kyle, I talked about that this week, that the front seven at times has played really well. And again, I don't think that they played great today, but I thought that they played well. I thought that they played really well, especially with your two DBs going down. Russ Callaway, thank you, Vic. I don't know why you don't promote Russ Callaway here. I had no idea why you don't promote Russ Callaway and take Linehan out. Yeah, you could go get a George Munoz, but why didn't they retain George, though? They could have easily retained him. Bring another Sean Payton understudy. Bring somebody. Look, if y'all are going to tell me my top 3 guys that we need to let go, number 1 is Scott Linehan. It's not close. Dog, we went 10 of 21 on 3rd down. 10 of 21. Now, I'm glad we got to 10, Not glad we missed 11. Joe Brady would never. Joe Brady would never. That shit wouldn't fly around here, dog. That shit wouldn't fly around here. Terrace Marshall catching, dropping some passes, receivers dropping passes. That shit would not fly. Wouldn't fly. Guys, LSU's offense ran 91 freaking plays. 91. And they got 27 points. And I see some people right now on Twitter that are pissed off at Bo Pelini still. Guys, even if this, you think that this defense played horrible, which, okay, no one's going to convince me that of the 91 plays that 27 points are acceptable, especially when Jabril Cox had the interception and got you to the 1 yard line. You're not going to convince me, because in my mind, that's a score for the defense. I mean, hey, give it up to Ty Davis Price on a depleted defense from the 1 yard line. So the truth is, you had 90 plays and scored 20 points. Guys, that's horrendous. That is horrible. I don't honestly want to even talk about the defense right now, especially with your two top players out. You're going to have to talk about this offense. Now, if Miles Brennan comes back, can he do a little bit better? I don't know. I think he's still a statue back there. I think he's brittle. I'm just going to call it like it is. I think he's brittle. Linehan, look, man, I agree with this. Linehan's behind today's game. I don't have to read anymore. I agree. He can't coach modern day football. We need a young Ma. And why not promote Russ Callaway? I would let Linehan go. As soon as Garrett Nussmeier signs on that dotted line, see ya. Florida looked beatable today versus Vanderbilt. Joseph, that's a good point. They did. They struggled with Vandy, man. They struggled. I think LSU can give them a game, and the defense keeps improving. Yeah. And look, Florida, their longest run on the season is 23 yards, and they haven't – I don't think they've had one guy rush for 100 yards all season. Absolutely, Blake says, Jamie, would Joe Brady make this offense better this year? Shit, yeah. Okay, come on, dog. I mean, hell yeah, he would. Joe Brady would never. Amen. Joe Brady would never. He'd never let this team go 10 or 21 on third downs. It wouldn't happen. 10 of 21 and 0 of 10 against Missouri. And David, that's a great point. And here's another thing. You held Arkansas to 0 and 10 on third down. Guys, LSU's defense, whether you want to like it or not, whether we want to blame Bo Pelini or not, they held them to 0 and 10 on third down. Shit, dog. I'll take that. I will take giving up 24 points, my offense running 91 plays, okay, and the opposing team's offense going 0 for 10 on third down. Guys, 90, how many times can I say this? Like, this shit's starting to piss me off. Like, I'm getting pretty pissed. I hate bad offense. I hate it more. It is one of my biggest pet peeves. Now y'all get me pissed. Well, it ain't y'all. Y'all ain't saying shit. I'm just sitting here rattling my big ass off. All right, we're about an hour in. I would have to have told him, you the new OC, baby. Yeah, you might have needed it. But I don't think, Jamie, to your point here about him being the new OC, I don't think Brady would have stayed. Steve Ensminger would have retired if he would have. I would bet $1 million Steve made a lot of the third down calls today. Yeah, he made 10 of them. he made the 10 of the 21 that you got. I don't know. Gino says no. Bo had the D looking better. He did, man. He did. He was able to generate over 10 on third down, and so your offense can run 91 plays. Don't tell me it's schemed anymore, guys. I've been beating that shit in y'all's head for months. Oh, it's scheme. Oh, it's scheme. Oh, it's scheme. Your two corners go down. No, it's an athlete on athlete thing. It's an athlete on athlete thing. That shit's not on Bo. John Day Ditch. John J. John, what's happening, brother? Blake, my man, have a drink. It's 2020 LMAO. You're right, John. John, tell me a good beer I should drink. Tell me a good beer. Because look here, John, I'm all out. I am all out of the official bourbon of AYS and the Ragged Branch. What's a good beer that I could sip on tonight, John? But you're right. I do. I was calm. I was cool. I've been collected. I've been calm, cool, and collected. Hey, John, hey, right quick. John, do I need to show everybody the text messages between us and the group me and the 10th man? Man, I think if people would just read the transcript of us during the game, they would freaking laugh their asses off. All right, guys, we're going to do a couple more and get on out of here. I will take one more phone call at 225-435-9387 before we get out of here. How long do you believe Steve will call plays for LSU coming from not really wanting to step up in the play calling role to begin with? I don't know. Maybe a year or two. Florida's defense has been bad all year also. Yeah, they have. Man, they were getting punched in the mouth by Vanderbilt early. Shit, we miss Aranda too. Right now, I think we do. Look at Steve last year, never good on third down. Huh? Oh, look at Dallas last year. Gotcha. Yeah, they weren't. Parish Brewing, bro. Okay. Parish Brewing. I need to go Parish Brewing. I'll do that. Devin Staub. Devin, you missed a lot of the early action, dog. We had some people hot up in this thing. He says victory formation. Yep. Ask week one in the post game stream. How long does Linehan last as a pass game coordinator? Sooner than later, I guess. Yeah. Don't. True. Go get you a bro floor from Southern Probation. Okay, I'll do that. Jameson, says Kyle. I had some shit. What was that thing called last night? I forgot what that thing was even called. It's the Matthew McConaughey whiskey. I tried it out. It's okay. It's not too bad. It wasn't too bad. I hadn't drank today. I hadn't had a drink. That's why I probably need to go get a drink and calm down. Gerard says, I could recommend you 100 amazing IPAs, but they're mostly in Houston. Damn, dog. Damn. Okay. Miller Lite, says Kate. Hell yeah, Miller Lite. Hey! I don't mind Miller Lite, but I'm just not a big beer drinker either. All right, guys, we're going to get on out of here. This was the LSU postgame show. LSU 27, Arkansas 24. Everyone do us a favor before you get out of here. If you've not done so, hit the like and share and or retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Guys, we will see you Monday, and we will break this game down. But let's go have us a drink and have a good rest of our weekend. My name is Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. Have a good night.